Hello and welcome, Free Enterprise fans, friends, and those of you who just enjoy seeing memes happen. Those will never happen here. We don't abide by any memes within Free Enterprise. I am very much a liar. My name is Dathos. I'm joined in the booth by Garen tonight, and we have a wonderful, wonderful little flag set here ahead of us. How you doing today, Garen?
I'm doing well, Daz. And how about yourself?
Absolutely fantastic. We have a few flags that are near and dear to my heart that we have going on here. This is your Monday night community race, a free introduction to the Rememe team. A little bit of a play on the Restream team because we enjoy our memes here up in the booth, but as well as within Free Enterprise as a whole. And I see a few different fun naming meme schemes here. Scarcer with Dark Matter Hunts and Gauntlet Harp. Everyone's favorite, so we get a longer bit of music. Judge Joe talking about 1-2 skip a feud at 29:30 in reference to the 30 Dark Matters, which are one of the objectives we have here.
Yeah, so the flag set, we've got three objectives and a treasure hunt, and the runners have to complete 3 out of 4. So the question is, to dark matter hunt or not to dark matter hunt this time around?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be very interesting to see if people do the dark matter hunt or if they kind of put that off and just leave it as it is. I personally am a big fan of dark matter hunts because I love looting and I have a problem. We do have a club that's for that, but I'm never going to join it because Looters Anonymous is not something I never need. I can stop whenever I want. Oh, look, a new shiny treasure chest. Excuse me for a moment.
Yeah, plus you would be anonymous at this point, so you know. Uh, one
That's very
other
true.
one other fun thing of this flag set is, since you're a lover of Vanilla Dathis, we have Vanilla Foo if we happen to find him in this flag.
Yeah, a big thing we usually do is we throw food to the point where he starts off with a couple of spells and then we let him grow as per each boss you fight. But nope, this is where you find him and he's just like you would in regular vanilla 4. He just goes buck wild. And yeah, I'm a big fan of every once in a while bringing your power overwhelming and just letting racers, like especially those who don't fancy themselves like the highest of tier racers, or even those who just like look at the high tier flags as, can I turn my brain off for half a second? Yeah, okay, foo, ha ha ha, quake.
Yeah, and of course, since Foo is already at max level, I mean, it makes Foo and Friends very easy if there's an early Estes of Crystal, and Foo and Friends is very viable for Z in that case. There's no such thing as the Herb Tell.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a harp tail. But we do have us going off. We have our race going. We have ourselves an Eddie start, who, if we see a spoon, he's going to be very much welcomed. But we now have Team 90 HP and a Dream, uh, because we have all of 90 HP between our two characters of Rydia and Eddie, and I don't see them sticking around very long. We have a Darkness Crystal to start too, so.
Yeah, but
Whew.
we also have three characters on, so if we want to get rid of this low-powered Eddie and Rydia, there's a good chance to do it very early, depending on who is sitting in the free locations.
Yeah, very much. We're going to be seeing these two probably ditched for some of the more popular characters. Definitely going to see Cecil there. Definitely going to see maybe probably a Tella, considering we have a Darkness Crystal, and you could even drop him for a Fusoya later. Or if we see Fu and someone else, it's screw it. We'll just take Fu instead.
Yeah, we see some divergence here. We've got two runners going to see if there's an edge in the Baron Inn. Harumph is going straight for that Darkness Crystal. And Cubs has found that Eddie is also hiding in the Watery Pass.
Yeah, with the amount of characters that we will see a total of 4 duplicates throughout the seed. We have 13 characters and 17 character slots, so we will see a few here and there. I am very much happy with seeing some duplicate Eddies, meaning you could share alike with those spoons if you get the berserks off properly. But aside from that, it's not going to be really. I think we're not going to keep more than one.
Now, and there was a curse ring in the Watery Pass, so Cubs paid off going to check that spot, which normally with the shops being what they are, I don't think you really want to go treasure hunting too much except for dark matters, but pays off this time. And someone's saying I'm kind of quiet here. Let's see.
Could be just the. Don't worry about that. Pay no attention to the man behind the scenes. You sound perfectly fine for my audio, but yeah. Speaking of those behind the scenes, let's talk about the ones we have who are doing the show taste to us. We have our wonderful restreamer NG Dave, who's on his second outing with us, doing a fantastic job showing everything, and we have Arlenor, who is going to be making sure we keep ourselves fully tracked and all the key items under control. We will not be tracking the dark matters tonight because it is a very high task to ask for more than one tracker, with 4 runners trying to keep track of all that count.
Yeah, because then you'd be counting up out of 120. That's a little bit much.
Yeah, look, I can count to about 4 for sure, maybe 5, depending on what song we're talking about.
Depends on how many fingers you have.
I only have 4 in one thumb. Let's not get into that debate. Our runners.
We'll just call 4.5 and call it a day.
You split the difference. So we have a little bit of divergence. Scarsor going deep into water, passing 2 cursed rings in there, which entertains me to a little bit no end. Harumph deciding, let's go get our first key item check. Doesn't even go for characters, just says, yep, let's go see what we got, and is running Team 90 down to the Antlion Cave.
Yep, and it looks like we got Cubs is also launching the whale at this point. Let's see if Cubs will give us a check at who is sitting up there.
That is always interesting of how soon you go until you decide, hey, let's go check some characters. But speaking of checking, I did also notice that we did have a free Edge and Tella, so that basically means that the overworld is as free as you can really make it. You put that Edge in the middle spot, and he just kind of runs around. Heck, I'd even take him and just go and grab that other Edge that's sitting in Baron right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that can be done. I mean, we're looking for some Hanzo Steel for that Edge, but there's a Bahamut for Rydia if anyone wants to stop by City and grab that.
We do want some Hanzo Steel, which honestly, with the T-Wildish treasure chests, we're definitely going to see. A pair of Assassin Daggers, honestly, work just fine, as we see in Mysidia there. Really, even just his regular short swords are more than enough power for the overworld. That is a gauntlet.
Yeah, the waterfall. So not a difficult place for it, but it is a place that might possibly be favored by some of the runners.
With a boss hunt like this, I definitely don't see that being. I wouldn't see that being faded, but I do foresee that being coming back later, especially when you have now instead of 90 HP, 100 was it 130 HP, 140 HP?
Well, you know, as long as Rydia can manage to take it, that's fine, you know. Anyway, we've got Cubs going up Mount Ordeals.
See, now here's a really interesting question for Harumph, and I see that he's saying no to it. I would be so very tempted to take that Sid because he can do a lot of work early on and be just fine. But Scarsor has decided, like, you know what, we saved. Picked up a Dragon Whip for that Rydia. Yeah, with that whip alone, Rydia can just hold A and kind of go.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Cubs did find a Palom on Mount Ordeals and said no and reset out of that.
Which is very interesting. I know a lot of people really like Palom, and especially the earlier you can get him before you do any boss checks, where you can just give him experience. He kind of goes up in parity, especially in power with this Rydia here. She's going to be great with the Dragon Whip, but aside from that, she learns a lot of really good spells far too late to be, fully beneficial. And I say that lightly. There was I think we saw Leviathan somewhere, so we get her about 3-4 levels and she gets enough MP.
Yeah, Leviathan and Bahamut are both on the overworld, so all you need is some money to pick those up. Harumph takes down the D-Lunars, which are sitting in Fabul.
Yeah, good couple of casts, good couple of hits, and they go down like the bag of bones that they are. And Cubs is about to find just how fun that they are going to be. Yeah, a quick flame cast or two. Not the same note to the legend sword that's there though. It's part of your forge, not an objective, but you with Super Smith on, you're very happy to see it.
Yeah, and knowing the way the Super Smith tends to work, it's going to be a weapon for a character you don't take.
Or a character, yeah, you just be like, well, I could really enjoy something for this character, and why am I getting a Triton Dagger when I already have a Stardust Rod?
Yeah, or something like maybe a Piggy Sword or something like that. We've already got Crystal or the next gal.
I mean, I'm okay with the piggy stick or even the flandango, I think as it's called in the vanilla game, the one that does bonus damage to flans because can't say no to that.
Scarcer is still going at this gauntlet and is getting through bit by bit.
Yeah, nothing in this place is really a threat to Rydia. She's got a couple of bits of gear. She's got high enough agility where she's just going to walk all over it. Uh, it's not even that big of a deal. And with it being an alt gauntlet, especially right here, she could cast Blizzard and would take care of these Mad Toads because they are all ice and they do not like that whatsoever.
Alright, meanwhile, we've got Harumph taking on an Evil Wall in the Baron Inn and get the other version of Edge.
Yeah, and with the first spot here, or either spot, it's just nothing really scary. Edge will plow through that HP in time, especially yeah, with it being the first spot. Couple of hits, it goes down. But the question is, ooh, that's an Odin.
Yeah, that's a little ruder, but we have Thor Rages. That should allow Eddie and that Tella to be a little bit useful here.
Yeah, that allows like all the damage that you could be seeing mostly from some of the other characters here. You throw up a blink, yeah, and that's all there. Judge Joe decides he doesn't want that Sid and picks him up and really makes good use of, I think, a Grimoire from that for a Leviathan roll.
Always nice when the Grimoire comes up with something nice.
And Scarcer definitely through that alt gauntlet gets his first objective on the board of number 2. You cannot say no to 10 minutes getting the boss hunt out of the way, and now we're just looking for one key item, and either a lot of dark matter or go shopping for a pass.
Yes, or you could find the pass in a chest if you're just simply hunting chests.
Got it. Loot all the chests, ignore everything, and collect spoon from from Baron Inn. It looks like you can't say no to that.
You could, but you don't have anything better at the moment.
True, and I know a lot of people be like, no, but I want this out of here. Cubs looting really deep in Antline, finding a lot of good ninja swords. See, and this is why in T Wildish I'm a big fan of looting, especially a place like this, because the items you find are just chef's kiss when you're wanting all the gear possible, and it takes Edge from doing a couple of hundred to just boffo wild swings.
That sure gets one shot, and it is the tower key. We have underground access yet. I think we're coming down to.
We do have 3 key items on, so that means Bedward is going to have a path to.
The harp is in the free slot. So a vanilla harp, okay, and this could be a very jetty seed in this case.
So, as much as there are people who are proponents of trying to avoid doing the harp, and we know that Harumph is one of the louder speakers of the anti-harp cartel, as they are very widely known. Looks like, unfortunately, you cannot leave harp alone. We are going to get music one way or the other.
In this case, we have a sea might not even have to go underground because they have the darkness crystal. They could just simply march down the lunar subterranean as soon as a pass is found.
Yeah, it's true. Go find it. You have your Tela, you have a D machine, and yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
Apparently, someone had somewhere to be tonight.
I mean, so this was I think this was kind of the idea for Arlenmore's flag set. I won't speak to exactly what his thoughts are, but this is the way we were looking at it when we were kind of deciding on the flags. There are so many seeds that you see us running here that are like an hour long, hour and a half long, that are like, okay, this is showing running through a lot of the seeds, high completion percentages, 17 out of 17s. Sometimes you like a good old fashioned, let's go fight Zeromus as low as possible. And yeah, like some people in chat are even saying, Eddie strats. It's a thing that happens very, very uncommonly. It is a long strat. It takes a lot of attention and a lot of skill. I'm still not very well versed in them myself. But if you can pull them off, they are so amazing to see. And if we see that tonight, fantastic. And if we see people go for Berserk up, also good. But yeah, I'm a big fan of seeing just the differences we can show in free enterprise as well. Not just the whole, oh, this is what you get for like mid-tier power and how we can handle this kind of thing. It's what happens if you get a really, really quick seed? Like, what kind of decisions can you make on the fly? The only decision that I know I want to make on the fly is letting Edge nap and watching Edward slowly, slowly creep out of the bed.
Well, we'll give a chance to listen to the music, so we'll see you on the other side.
Maga Sisters letting us listen to a little bit of extended of Lunar, I think it was Lunar Civil Star Story. Great music. Honestly, fantastic songs. That is another key. You want to get underground, go fetch some key items. But we're going to let Eddie continue to serenade us while Judge Joe is going up in the moon and Scarcer is doing some shopping.
All right, and we are through two renditions of the harp music tonight, and everybody else has their twin harps. We'll probably be hearing it one more time or so down the line.
Oh, absolutely. I think we'll be hearing that one or two more times, especially with Baron Key behind that. Again, no bosses in there that we're really looking for because we're kind of just looking for the pass right now is one of our big things. But yeah, you see the power of some of these mage killing gear that you find. Mute Knife on Edge, and no enemy can kind of stand in his way. Well, no mage enemy.
Yeah. Yeah. Meanwhile, it'd be nice if the pass is actually sitting on the moon shop because that's totally on brand for memes.
Oh, I'm actually a bigger fan of it being underground.
You have to see where you actually have to go underground. It's like it's not always totally haunted, but it's like you should even go there.
True. I'm a big fan of going to the moon shop, especially if you're still missing your Bacchus wines or something. But Cubs is now definitely making sure he's running the whole gamut of bosses that we have on the overworld and making very liberal use of that ninjutsu that he comes equipped with.
Yeah, this will be faster for Cubs than for Scarcer because Cubs has an edge and Scarcer didn't.
Nope, and he's getting the good news of, hey, if you had come to do the big whale earlier, you could have had an edge.
Oh well. I mean, what they're really hoping for is the food that doesn't necessarily have to be leveled at this point, but who can be buried?
Who could definitely be buried? And Scarcer getting rid of both Eddies. My friend, you're about to get some more good news real soon. And see, this is what I love about Free Enterprise. Like, oh no, this is gonna be a problem. Well, I mean, he is a problem character until you find the spoon, and let me tell you where that is, my friend.
Yeah, sells off that white spirit to get the Bahamut, so Rydia is going to go Blarg on his side.
Yeah, and Bahamut is absolutely fantastic. It's basically a crystal sword, but AoE. So on some of the other fights, you're going to be very happy to see it, or just the fact of that no resist, it can't be resisted. You resist holy, that's nice. Mega Flare doesn't care.
Meanwhile, Harum took out the elements in Baron and is now looting Baron.
Yeah, I'm always a big fan of seeing runners actually going in and leaning into dark matter hunts. It's one of my favorites because again, I am a big fan of heavy looting, and seeing a lot of people talk in the race rooms post like, "Oh, I only looted like 30 chests," or "I only looted 40 chests," and then we're gonna see like all these chests open for everybody. It just like it makes my little loot goblin just kind of go, "Yes, one more."
Cubs took 4 chests that we don't normally see taken. The ones in back of the Ogopogo spot, not the Octomom spot. Found double summons there. Trura and what was it, Odin, I think? Oh, Sylph.
Yeah, also, he does have access to exit, so he does have the possibility of going even deeper in if he so chooses. But yeah, he's got a lot of good gear that he can sell here, the summons, so he can get
And
himself that
found,
Stardust Rod.
yeah, found a Stardust Rod, which if Rydia has the Bahamut, that is lovely Blarg power. Although not very useful on Z unless she gets to nuke.
Yeah, and we look and we see that we have just a Yang, and I say just, but we have a Yang sitting in the bed today. And Scarcer going up ordeals and finding that we have a set of dolls, so gonna make good use out of a J item or two here, it looks like. Yeah, your Palums are definitely both at a level where you could either have them twin, or we can just overkill is underrated. I'm 100% here for this. Just go.
Yeah, Edge's Flame will also work just well at this spot. Oh, but we're just going to Blarg the dolls, and there's not even any Ash left at this point.
Stop, they're already dead.
It's a doll. You can never be too careful with dolls.
This is very true. Chucky exists for a reason. This is a cautionary tale. But Harumph making very quick work of both of the bosses in Baron. I know we had the first one as Elements. I didn't even see what the second one was, but nothing really to worry about. Just kind of trouncing all over. And we have a sword and a robe that's blocking us in today.
Sword in the Stone. That's a meme from a different series.
It was Milan Zed, which was the second boss. So yeah, nothing that can kind of really give our players worry. And Cubs Rule does find something fun. While Harum finds an Earth Crystal, we do have a past sighting. And I think this was in... I don't know where this one is.
Let's see when he clears out the menu.
Sell some ninjas and stuff? Oh, looks like we're going for some vampires. Are we doing... Oh, Agart is the name of the place today.
Ah, so it's hidden in the place where it's like you don't need to go underground, but maybe it's a good place to visit the place where you can get underground. Also some Hanzo steel and some boomerangs there for that edge.
Yeah, but I have a feeling we're not going to be going up that far. We're probably going to find some Star Veils now and go, because I saw a few vampires being purchased.
There were a lot of vampires purchased.
But we are going to get yet another rendition of some Silver Star Story. And yeah, we have another quick work on Judge Joe's side of that wonderful, wonderful music. We do have Harum pick up a Leviathan from what is commonly known as the Flame Dog chest, because that's what it is, as well as Scarsword getting our actual logical underground access. Dark Imps guarding a magma key, so we can actually go underground and see what's happening. But we also saw Harumph looting the Troya treasury. Solid overall, especially with 2 dark matter.
Yep, there was a Mazamoon for edge. I think there was a crystal ring or 2 in there, if I remember right.
Yeah, honestly, for T Wildish, probably on the lower end of what you could see, so probably closer to about a 6 or a 7, but honestly, with a couple of dark matters in there, I'm not going to say no.
Right, well, I think that given where the objectives and the key items have laid out, I think the dark matters are kind of a red herring and a waste of rabbit holes this time, so...
You take that back.
Talk to the person who put all these places there. I mean, we already have go mode, and we're not even half an hour in.
But I've got to loot.
You can
No,
come back after the seed and loot. I mean, no one's stopping you.
this is very true, and I'm a big fan of doing that. But yeah, so a little thing that we don't really talk about is how many dark matters are actually going to be in this seed. So with Cubs getting his crystal and opening up the past door, there are actually 40 dark matters in this seed. There are 10 more than what you need to complete the seed, and it is 30 that is on the blue planet, and it is 10 that are on the moon. So you can do the entirety of the blue planet and never have to worry about it. But there is still the possibility of it just not working out for you. Speaking of not working out, we have Cubs who's decided we are doing 1200 strats 100%, no questions asked, while Harumph is picking up a Dark Knight Cecil.
Yep, and today it turns out that Cecil has tied up his girlfriend Rosa. So Vanilla Rosa, I think you'd call that French vanilla Cecil, but definitely some tensions there in that relationship.
Look, we could talk about that for a while, but this is not the stream for it. It's what Free Enterprise After Dark is for. But right now, Cubs, with 29 minutes in, he has 3 out of the 4 objectives. He has his crystal. We're already going up and saying hello to a good old friend. Garen, would you mind doing the honors?
Sure. So we can't really move Z around because too big, too scary, and the Big Bang just doesn't work very well in any other spot. We don't move him. We just decide to give him a makeover every time we run the game. So with that in mind, the question we normally ask is, whose butt are we going to kick tonight?
Indeed, and we are going to be here for just a little bit because what we are doing here is a modified 1200 HP strat. We are doing just Zeroma's nukes himself completely down. We're going to have every character toss up a Star Veil, and then we're going to be reflecting strats, reflecting back everything 100%. So this is modified Eddie strats, is what we're going to have here.
And meanwhile, Judge Joe has also entered the Z fight, so we're going to have 2 of these going on at the same time.
Yeah, very interesting seeing. This is what we were talking about earlier. Is the Eddie strats we mentioned very early on. So we're going to see a couple of Star Veils. They're going to be doing a little bit of the work, and then it's going to be Edward the rest of the way. It looks like.
Yep, and a little bit of a callback to our flag set from a couple times ago with that fire just sort of like blasting right into the 3 of the characters in the party here.
Yeah, Goinas, I don't know what this one is specifically from. I would love to find out because this is a really wicked sprite, and yeah, Scala does fantastic work. Question from chat, it is Dark Souls. Okay, that makes perfect sense. I've seen a couple of playthroughs of Dark Souls. I am not a Dark Souls player, but ooh, props to those who are.
And while we watch these strats play out, you have Harumph going up the Mount Ordeals, and we have Scarcer checking out the Underworld. And Cubs is going to reset out of his Z fight, and we'll give another try.
Yeah, I'd love to know. We'll have to pick his brain with why you reset out of the first one, because I don't think I quite saw. I think maybe Zeroma's just a little bit too fast.
Yeah, it looks like he set the battle speed to 4, so maybe some timing issues.
Yeah, so I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, and that just kind of shows that you can do these at a lower battle speed, but battle speed 3 or 4 is kind of what you're looking for here. You want to take this slow and steady. You want to have as many ticks to go. You know, if you don't have to like just put in the inputs as quick as possible. And again, this is another thing that, as I said, it's you can learn and you can practice these strats all the time, but some people are comfortable doing them at one level, some people are comfortable doing them at another. There's no right or wrong way of doing it. It's just whatever is the best for you to be doing them as.
Yeah, and one thing too is if you see it's going a little bit off the rails since it takes so long, it's like it might be good to just reset and then get yourself set up the way you want to instead of trying to go through it for 5 or 10 minutes, and then it's like it falls apart because then the value of the strategy kind of falls apart if it doesn't work out well the first time and you took a long time for it.
And we're actually seeing a couple of fun things here as well. We're seeing what happens when you actually use summons on Zeromus, as you see it counters with a group-wide virus. So this is why when you see Rydia, she only nukes and she doesn't cast her summons, because Zeromus has a counter that you don't want to see.
So if everybody has a Star Veil up, I mean, it can be useful in that case.
Yeah, and Judge Joe's doing modified 1200 HP strats where you just throw out items on top of Zeromus and let him do his thing. But Scarcer finding here a free and an annoying Fey March. This is where you're just gonna, toss up a Star Veil, and King and Queen Evelyn are gonna be no threat whatsoever. Oh no, Tella's face down. Who would have guessed?
It's like he hasn't found himself in that situation before. Just take it for the experience, because on this flag set there are no key items in the Fey March bosses. It's just K main.
Yeah, and even that demist is something you don't have to worry about because we have free key items on, so demist is of absolutely no worries here.
Yeah, so the only thing you have to worry about in this particular flag set is where is the gauntlet? And it turns out we did not hide the gauntlet very deep this time around, so yeah. The only runner who hasn't seen it yet is Harumph, it looks like.
Yeah, looks like he hasn't done a lot of the boss checks, which, I mean, there are still some that you can run around and catch later on, or you decide, hey, I'm going to do the overworld key items first. But, yeah, and Judge Joe taking an early wipe. This is why it eventually just turns into the Eddie show, because it's not... Again, this looks a lot easier than what people think. It's just, this is a lot of practice and it's very tedious. Like, we're going to be here for a little bit. Like, for example, I think Cubs went into his fight, at the 30-ish, 32, 33-minute mark?
We've been here about 5 minutes at least, I think, and we're already on attempt 2 now for both runners.
Yeah, and that's part of what we were saying here. This is a very safe way of doing it once you understand and once you can do the mechanics. Like, this is just a very mechanic heavy execution based strat. Like, as you can see here, it's basically hide Eddie, bring him back out, let him throw up a Star Veil, and then throw back some counter nukes. I think you can get 2 out per rotation, if not 1. But yeah, you can just Vampire, direct cast, crosses he's got as well. It's a whole bunch of goodies.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of practice to find your sweet spot with, the battle speed and your agility. But once you've got it down, then the thing is, are you like me and you always make a little flub every now and again in the menuing? Because that one little flub in the menuing can go over pretty badly.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, this is where you get to the somewhat scary parts here too. Scarcer, though, has found a siren or two and is cracking them underground and giving this Palom some XP, much needed infusion of XP. Wonder if he's still doing 1200 HP strats this way, or if he's going to change it up a little bit.
I'm still wondering when he's going to go and visit that Twin Heart, because he has it, and it's like, oh, you know where the pass is. This is basically go, but
well, again, Scarcer doesn't know that.
He doesn't. I mean, he knows he has the harp. He can do number 2 right away. I mean, he knows the pass isn't there, but the old thing is do your objectives and then do your freebies, and
it is the old adage, but there are some people who like to have a little bit more of safety in their spot. Like, again, some levels, some power behind them, just to make sure that everything is good to go, or even the preparation of the pre-preparing for grinding. Because who knows what what we're going to be looking at or what he's going to be doing afterwards. And again, he's like, oh, I've got the pan. I can go knock that out first. That's over right there, and I'm already underground.
Harumph has found our vanilla foo in the middle of things. It looks like that must have been from the Sand Ruby check.
No, Sand Ruby was Yang. The Baron Castle is
Baron
where
Castle.
we found our vanilla foo.
All right, I wasn't watching it back when he did that. Okay.
And we do have an adamant armor. That is our first sighting that Harumph has gone and done some looting and found it for us. Yeah, and so this is what we talk about when it comes to balancing out how comfortable you are with Eddie strats versus how much time you want to input into different aspects of different spots, because with how long this is taking, your other runners will, Scarsor, for example, could have gone completely there, stolen some sirens, gotten some levels, and done a more traditional grind by comparison. But speaking of, we have our full forge that he has here, so hopefully he shows off what that is.
That also gets a package for a character we probably don't need at this point.
Could be a second Foo.
Could be. In which case you could try Foo and Friends.
Yeah, that'd be about the only thing I'd be looking for, was I'd look for another Foo, and then you could take care of that. But as of right now, this is kind of just the whole, this is fine. Our last flag set, this is fine. We're good.
Except on that flag set, we have to fight Z.
Very, very true. But yeah, Harumph making quick work of yet another chest. Life staff for the third one of his troubles. I did not see it was in the second one. Sorry, in the first one. I believe it was some Hanzo steel, but I could be incorrect. Yeah, this could be a flag set where if you find a double set of Hanzo steel, you go double Hanzo on one edge, and as he's getting Berserk, you unequip him, take care of the Berserk glitch so he can use fists, but he's attacking with Hanzo power, get on the other one, Berserk him up, if you want to go something like that. But we do seem to have enough power in the other characters if you wanted to go that way, where you can go a very traditional fight too, which I think is great.
Harumph sells off basically the whole store here, and to buy the pass. Knows he has that now. All he's looking for is the gauntlet, and I don't know if he knows where it is yet.
I don't believe he does, but he will either eventually stumble upon it or upon more than enough items that we're going to find out. But he is going to throw the magma key down, and yeah, looks like we're going to be doing some more looting underground.
I saw from his item count he has 9 dark matter, so if he does not find the gauntlet, we'd be here for a while looking for dark matters.
Loot it up. I'm here for it. And again, we do have the darkness crystal as well, so we could even do a very cheeky check on in Cave Bahamut. Not one of those chests are trapped, and those are all free chests and chances at a possibility of some dark matters, as well as the one passway where the one trap chest is amongst the 4 chests. So still possibilities, high amount. We don't even have to see the lunar subterrane, but we could maybe go to the moon.
We did see the lunar dais check, but we didn't see much more of the moon in that case.
We could see more of the moon. I like the moon. The happiest place in the moon is there. Have you found the happy face on the moon?
I'm assuming it's not Disneyland.
No, the happy face, not the happiest place.
Oh, it's happy face. Okay. Yeah, my ears are not working very well tonight. Sorry.
It's all good. No, there is a very happy face on the moon, and I challenge all of you in Free Enterprise to find it. Not the face stone, but there is a happy face on the moon. So there are 2 faces on the moon aside from the one that we look at. You should take time and go and find that sometime. But as we're talking about here, Judge Joe and Cubs are both handling these Eddie strats very effectively, and just again, just patience, time. That's all this is going to be. Judge Joe with Double Eddy going to be doing a little bit faster, but also burning through resources a little bit faster. But he did buy some more Star Veils in comparison.
Meanwhile, it looks like Scarcer is now finally going to do the Twin Harp check, so we'll be just a pass away from go mode.
Ooh, and Harump having a Quake come up just a little short here. But an Adamant Armor for Eddy says, I will dodge that anyways and knock you down and get a Power Shard for his problems. Comments from chat about the happy face. Poidrac used to use it, one of our admins, for when he was being restreamed. He did, and because he didn't get restreamed a lot, and I saw that once, I'm like, I'm going to use that as well. I may have snagged that from him as a wonderful spot to be standing. It's a great spot. Yeah, we are seeing again the slow and steady usage of bouncing at these crosses and utilizing cross as opposed to using the crystal, which is a free item that you can use over and over and over again. But the animation is just much faster to use cross and just get that going real quick by comparison, which is very, very nice when you're talking about wanting to get this done as quick as possible. And
Yeah,
even finding some Hanzo Steel.
Yeah, so this is a demonstration of one of the times that two Eddies are better than one, aside from the spoon being available on a dupe glitch or something like that.
Dupe glitch plus omnidextrous is probably the best thing for spoon lovers everywhere. One holds the spoon, one holds the Avenger, and you just don't stop swinging, and everything goes down. But yeah, we definitely see a lot of the damage coming out here, and this is just going slow but steady. And this is what we were saying. Like Cubs has been in this fight about 10-ish minutes now. He's getting near the end, and just a little bit more time going through. But we also see a shake on Gwayness on Judge Joe's side. He's got to get those Eddies hidden, or at least one of the Eddies hidden real soon.
Let's get one hide off.
Yeah, and that's where it can get a little spooky. And with two Eddies, it's a little bit better. You do have that aspect of being a little bit greedy with one. Question for chat: do we know if the 4 restreamed are racers? So we have more than just the 4 restreamed today. I believe we saw. Let me take a look. We have a total of 12 entrants today, so we do have everybody's going. And actually, as we're talking about it right now, while Cubs is powering through, we do have our first official off-stream race finish in Microcorgs, finishing at 46:36. So GG's to him, while we see a very, very just methodical work of Cubs and Judge Joe going here. And again, I'm very much a fan of watching these. Every once in a while, them being demonstrated and shown off is a joy for me, because these are very technical, very skilled strats that you have to that not everybody should know, but somebody you should see every once in a while.
It's good if you want to try and practice it to at least have a visual for, go back and reference this VOD and try and get the mechanics down. Not going to be available every time, but if you are ever saying a one-on-one race and your opponent knows how to do this and you don't, and it's available, it ain't going to necessarily go well.
Yeah, and again, it's sometimes they work out. I've seen people who've done Eddie strats, and it was very close to a grind time and grind locations. So it was, yeah, Eddie strats were on the table and you can go. But I saw somebody who actually leveled up their characters proper and went in at just a little subpar Z of the what people would call comfortable Z levels. They still pulled out a very, very close race. I think they were about 2 minutes behind. So there's never any shame in if you don't feel like you can do these or if you don't want to learn them. Because again, what we say here and we're saying, oh, like this is just them. This we're not kidding. Like Cubs and Judge are focusing. They got to keep their inventory tight. They got to keep everything going. They have to make sure that they're hitting the right buttons and they're keeping on the rhythm because anything puts you off and you could be in a very big deal of trouble. Like Joe, he's keeping two eddies up and doing this, which is very, very unusual but for these, but is something he can do very, very well, it looks like. Yeah, like we said, just digging in through the stash of Star Veils we have here.
I think they've got to be getting a little bit close by now. They've already been in this fight for close to 14 minutes now.
Close to. We say 15 minutes is a good-ish judge of when to go through it, but again, it's when you lower the battle speed, it could take a little bit longer. Cub's going down to battle speed 4, and I'm not sure which battle speed Judge is on, so it takes a little bit longer than if you were doing it at a faster battle speed because the ticks take a little bit longer for the actions to be queued up. It's not again, not a big deal, but it's just this is a very safe way of doing it like this. Even some comments in chat that the extra actions Judge Joes are having could create problems. Yeah, as much as this is a benefit for having more damage, this is also a lot more actions, so something could buffer improperly, or we could have some actions go off unnecessarily, or again, this is a fine dance between getting things done very efficiently to we could have problems in about 3 seconds. I mean, we've even seen that with the eddies going down in the first place. The fact that he's gone down once or twice, or they've both gone down at least once, is a little bit on the spookier side. But Haram getting his way through Dwarf Castle.
Cubs is through.
Oh, GG's the Cubs. Yeah, again, very, very well done. That is official time of 50 minutes and 36 seconds. Nothing to scoff at for doing Eddie Strats. GG's to him. We'll see if we can get him in for an interview. Yeah, as I was saying, Harumph through a couple of battles there, no problem. I know one was karate. I didn't see the second one, but we do have a Luca key as the vanilla key item, and the power shirt sitting behind the Luca key. So that power shirt's technically in logic if you want to go get it the normal way.
Get easier power shirts to get than that one.
Mylon and friends. Thank you very much to our wonderful tracker Arlenor for keeping us honest and keeping us right here. Scarcerer has decided it's time to go and see what's going on with the Giant. Do we have a deep machine grind incoming?
Or it could just be a regular grind, possibly. I think he has 10 key items, does he? He has 10 key items. He could just take the bosses.
He does have 10 key items. I think with the team here, especially with, I think he'd kept both Ridias down. I think this is going to be a pure D money grind, which I'm here for it.
He was setting up for D money. Okay.
Yeah, and Harumph doing very much typical checks of the underworld we have here. We have going the full tower special, and he's going to take a look at some officer and soldiers, which a quick virus cast is going to absolutely make extreme short work of.
Yep, still looking for that gauntlet. Doesn't realize it's not anywhere down here, but meanwhile, we are joined by Cubs. GG.
GG. Yeehaw.
That was a very speedy seed, and that was a very, very clinical showing of Eddie Strats. Thank you for showing that off. It has been a hot minute since I've seen him, and always fantastic.
You can tell it's been a while because for some reason I kept unhiding him at the start. I'm like,
What?
why? No, don't. Please, no. Yeah, a bard is basically a merchant, right? That's how this works?
Yeah, good enough. That's basically what we're looking for here.
Yeah. So I'm assuming there was no foo.
Oh, there was.
There is a foo in Baron behind the twin harp.
You know what? I made the call as soon as I saw pass that if foo was there, I was okay losing to it.
Yeah, that's
I'm okay
fair.
losing to it.
Now, here's the real fun question. If you would like to know where you can get your D-Money grind as well as the Magma Key, you could have gone up to Ordeals.
No, that doesn't exist.
Your love for Tella is very legendary.
Do I see twin Eddies here from Joe?
You in fact do see Judge Joe holding up twin Eddies, and they've each gone down at one point too.
That is, my hat's off to him. That is so much more difficult. Trying to juggle two there. Good lord.
Yeah, we were saying that is a lot more technical, but again, you still showing off very technical routing of doing it too. Even single Eddie strats is just kind of chef's kiss to see, especially like you said, if it's been a while since you've done them and had to pull them back out, you still got it.
No, I'm not gonna complain. I wasn't expecting a crystal at like 20 minutes, so whoops.
I really don't think anybody was, to be honest.
Well, that was fun, I think.
So here's the real question. Was there ever any chance in your mind that you were going to be, if let's say Football Gauntlet's buried a little bit further, is there ever any chance in your mind that you were going to be going for those 30 Dark Matters, or is this you were just gonna boss hunt and not worry?
No, I was. I did quite a bit of looting looking for Dark Matters. Like I ended up with 8 or 9. If Pass wasn't available on Earth, I was going for chests. So no, I was absolutely kind of leaning into the Dark Matters, and then it just kind of fell into place.
So I assume the first reset out of the Zeroma's fight was you just brought Edward out and he kind of was going to bite the dust with a big bang. Was that the reason why?
Yeah, I was hoping there would be time for it to come back around, but wasn't quite there. And barely escaped the second time doing the same thing, so I'll take it.
Very fair. So what was your thought of going into this seed and you see yourself, you have Team 90 HP, was there ever any chance, like especially once you saw that Tella, and you early Darkness, we know you love a D-Money grind, was there ever any actual thought of doing that?
When there was no easily accessible foo, there was a thought until Gauntlet turned up at Watery Pass, and then it was, okay, where's my pass? We're just doing Eddie, screw it.
Now here's the real question that I have. I wonder, a full D-Money grind into Reflect strats or Eddie strats, what do you think is faster, especially since you had Rydia, a double Rydia, and a Palom?
Having to get up ordeals with this party, I think it's probably faster to do Eddie. I mean, Edge, I wasn't gonna complain with Ninja Mura Power Shirt Edge, but even that will take 5+ minutes on, or 4 to 5 minutes on ordeals. So, if Reflect is faster, it's maybe 30 seconds to a minute, is my guess. It's very close.
I would love to see the timing on that personally, because again, the more thing that interests me is the stats of not what's better, but how close they are in comparison. Especially as I was saying, it's if you're not comfortable with doing reflect strats on stream, which as you can barely see how technical it is. And again, GG's to Joe for pulling it off with 2 eddies. We'll see if we can't get him from the interview. But yeah, so what do you think of the concept of these flag sets of being more new player focused, more accessible style of flag sets by comparison to some of the tournament runs that we've done before?
It's good to kind of spread them out. We definitely had a couple, a little more on the difficult end with K-Trap, followed by, well, my misadventures on ordeals the last couple weeks, but the Cecil Fu or Cecil Kane Overworld. So it's nice to have something a little quicker. Just to have, I wouldn't exactly call Eddie Strats a lot of fun compared to say Power Overwhelming, but it's nice to just kind of change things up every so often. My guess is the rest of these community races are not going to be decided by Eddie Strats. That is just my guess.
Hey chat, if somebody can clip this real quick and send this back to Cubs the next time we have another around 50-minute finisher, I want each and every one of you to add him on Twitter, send this to him in his DMs. If you have to place it in the Clips and Seeds and tag him, do so. Make him eat his words.
I mean, with Fu, that's a 35-minute seed, but yes.
You know what I'm saying. Sub 50, sub 55, how's that? I think that's it for me. Garen, do you have any questions for him?
No, I think I'm pretty well set. I mean, it was a very jetty seed. I mean, only 4 bosses down the entire seed. I mean, that's I can see too many seeds that low on bosses.
No, yeah, I wasn't expecting. By the way, 60-something chests with 4 bosses fought. That's a ratio you don't see often.
Absolutely not. But you know what? Hopefully, we see a couple more Dark Matters being turned in next time.
Yeah, we will see. But thank you, both of you. Looking forward to watching this one back and the panic in everyone's eyes and in chat. Arnlor, GG, you're welcome for basically the night off there. I tried for you. Dave. Dave. We're gonna leave it at that, Dave.
That's nice. That's nicer than what you say to me when you're upset.
You are right, yes. But GG all, thank you very much. I will duck out, let Joe get in here. Until next time. See y'all here soon.
All right, thanks, GG.
Again, Cubs rule, 2nd place finisher overall, 1st place finisher on the restream, time of 50:36. GG's to him, and we are joined by 3rd place finisher, 2nd place finisher on stream, Judge Joe. GG's, my friend.
Thank you. That was not what I expected going into the season. I figured I'd have a nice little bit of loads of looting, have a food to blow everything up, and just 30 Dark Matters to pass and figure out where the harp is. That was not the seed.
No, it was not. So, yeah, how did you like the idea that there was no food, and it's like, okay, you have to do Eddie or find hunt a foo up?
I mean, I spent $1 million on Starville. There were apples for sale. I could have probably just bought a couple apples and done like two person 1200 strats as another alternative wouldn't have been that bad, but I figured Eddie strats were simple. I had the Edwards, let's give it a go. And I managed to figure it out.
Do you think one Edward or two Edward is better, having tried the two Edward strategy?
Well, I've never tried the one Edward, so I don't know. But from what I'm told, it's tighter timing with two Edwards. But having done it at Battlefield 6, if you have decent enough menuing, there is a set pattern what you're supposed to do. So if two Edwards is faster, which again I don't know, then I would prefer two Edwards.
If you watch it back, one of the other racers did one Eddie strats on Battle Speed 4, so not quite comparable because that Battle Speed's going a little bit faster.
Yep. I figured if I'm learning a Z-fight for the first time, might as well do it on Battle Speed 6. I didn't know if it had a specified battle speed.
I think it's personal preference in some cases, but it definitely helped you out a couple times because there were some times where it's like, okay, you're probably one tick away from Big Bang wiping you out, so I think 6 was a good choice there.
Yeah, there was that one moment where I was at one Edward, I had to go and just kind of... after having seen enough Big Bangs, it is black hole, virus, black hole, virus, black hole. But I needed to wait for a post-virus to do my life shenanigans to ensure that I could unhide them without getting blasted by a virus, because I don't think they were going to survive if they didn't have a veil.
No, they very much were not going to at 200 HP. They were going to be taken down with a single virus cast there.
So, but I'm sure it'll be a interesting watch back. But you could definitely see the moment I realized, oh, this isn't Dark Matter Hunt. Dang it. Because I was looking forward to just scrounging around the Dark Matter as fast as I could.
Cubs said the same thing.
Loot, stop looting! Abort!
Yeah, there was no Moon Gauntlet to slow you down, so what are you gonna do?
Well, thanks for doing commentary and tracking and restreaming. I always do enjoy these, so hope everyone has a good night.
You as well, my friend. GG's.
Have a good night, GG.
Second place finisher of stream. Third overall, Judge Joe at 57 minutes and 16 seconds. GG's to him. Again, very, very well done. As we're doing that, we see a parallel of grinds going on here. Two different styles of dragons both being taken out. We have the King Ryu grind going on Herum's side, but Scarsfur finally does find the grind he's looking for and is going about doing the D-Machine grind.
Yeah, I think someone said in chat he had set up the D machines, then because he took the last arm chest that messed up the setup, so he had to try and figure a fight that had it. And fortunately, since it's behind two searchers, they can have other things besides his D machine behind them if he tries to find this.
Yeah, that's why it's you. There's so many different ways that you can find this up. In fact, if you join our Discord and find out, we have not only the vanilla D-Machine step chart that you can utilize here, especially because we have you can't run off, but we also have the grind and manipulation chart that was discovered during the time of E can't run. So if you ever think, oh, well, what if there's a time when I can't run from the fights if it's not the proper one, it's going to take me forever. No. We thought about that, and we've manipulated it so you can go from outside Baron, take care of a couple of fights, and then just run right up here, and then your next encounter is going to be exactly what you're looking for. You could either be in the, and you can either do it not only just for D Machine, but if you are lacking a Tela, but you've got Kane or a Cecil, Kane's usually better with an Ogre Axe or a Poison Axe. You can have him jump and take down Mac Giants as well, which is a very fantastic alternative to this.
I think if I remember right, it only took about a day after that No Cat Run came on before someone came up with the chart.
Oh, I think it was same day.
Okay, I knew it was very, very fast, but you know.
Oh yeah, and that was a fun thing, 'cause that was a big discussion that a lot of the leads at the time had. They thought, oh, we'll do E Can't Run in a tournament setting, and then that way we'll make it so that it'll be harder for them to get experience, so we won't see D Machine grinds like this. And the community was like, bet.
Yeah, that is when I think Vanilla Giant was also tried a few times to try and prevent it because they had to go through the giant bosses to get out. But
Yep. Also, really, really big, interesting idea is the fact that Scarsor is utilizing his other characters as MP batteries and is casting Psych with Tela while casting Stop on the core D Machine here. So we have 100 MP, 60 MP being taken from Edge, and yeah, this is just really heads up. Don't not want to use too many of the ethers, or knowing that the ether ones aren't going to give a lot of MP back.
Ether one will usually give you 1 week cast back. Occasionally might give you enough for 2, depending where you are. But yeah, it's Ether 2 are probably a little better for Tela, but again, those are expensive, and I don't know if you found them.
Yeah, Ether 2's great. Ether 1's honestly cost about 10, 15 of them, and that's going to be enough for a D Machine grind in the first place. As someone who's done many D Machine grinds in my day. But yeah, that's 890,000. That is a lot of that's a lot of HP. That's a lot of HP incoming.
Did not get to nuke though, unfortunately. It's not that character.
Yeah, just a little shy on Rydia, unfortunately.
Alum did get there.
I think Rydia is just at a slingshot range. I think that's why.
Yeah, let's see. She's at 49. She missed by about 60,000. So you need one more dragon in there, but
ooh, yeah, one more would have been absolutely perfect. But you know what? You take it, you go with it, and you go. But speaking of going with it, we have Harump, who is throwing out his crystal, and he's getting ready to start his Z fight.
I'm surprised he didn't throw out that card.
You know what? We never saw what the forge was. We should ask Scarsor to make sure he forges after the seed if he doesn't do so now. But going this from Dark Souls 100% here one more time, and we are going to get a lovely fight as Scarsor says, I'm leaving the giant. I'll be with you in that fight in just a moment, my dude.
Is going back to the other airships. Might be going underground to give us that forge, depending.
I'm here for those. Or it could just be the rules that we always say. Make sure you only park the free enterprise down there. But no, he's definitely going underground. I want to see this forge. I'm always a big fan, especially if it's something really nice. I would love for it to be just a throwing item. Not Edge's throwing weapon, but the one throwing ninja star, just for entertainment's sake.
I'm going to go with a claw here.
That's absolutely what it's going to be, though, because it's for a character we don't have. And he does have an influx of money. We could get some good items in the shop here, too.
Oh.
Apollo's harp for Eddie. We could have absolutely. Okay, so hear me out. Spoon Eddie, Apollo harp Eddie. Like.
Well, we do have 2 Eddies in the seed. You could do that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And oh my lord, that S Wild shop. That may have been the weakest shop I've ever seen from Kakol in my time commentating for Enterprise.
I thought it was usually garbage on S Wild.
It can be anything, really. That's the whole thing. But I've not seen double iron Gaia. At least it had samurai arrows, which was good. But oh man,
I'm just used to it being a trash shop when S Wild is on.
no words. Should have sent a poet.
This seed was shopping for an Asura, it looks like. I'm not sure what he's looking for.
Looks like we're definitely going to be crafting at least 1 or 2 eggs for the last Iridia XP.
Yeah, 1 should do it if he's at 10. I think he is.
He is, yeah. So this is going to be 1 egg. This is going to be more than enough. Just anything you want to do. Just, yeah, Quake, whatever. Just knock the egg down.
We see a very unusual spell cast, fatal in this case, but Al's get the Quake off first.
And speaking of first, we have Trump, 4th place finisher overall. Time of 1:13:45. GG's to him as Gwainmus fades into the dust. See if we can't get him into the interview. Well, Scarcer, with that Nuka Ridia now, is going to be making up his way up to fight Gwainmus and finish up this very entertaining dark matter vanilla foo seed. Again, I don't know what I was expecting when I was going to see this seed. I wasn't expecting the possibility of 2 DPS eddies being viable with a Eddie, regular Eddie strats going and everything else. Like this seed delivered is basically what I could say.
I think we definitely saw 4 very different approaches to taking out the seed, and they're all good. And that little ding in the ear, we have Harumph joining us. GG.
Thanks.
So what about that waterfall, huh?
Yeah, I completely forgot about it here. I got rabbit holed, feeding ordeals. Then once I got back here, I completely forgot to check the other 2 locations. Could have been done a smidge faster. I suspect a few people may have, other racers off stream may have forgot about it. Last week, and doing that, yeah.
It's possible. I mean, I know we have 12 racers going, and you know, I think our first race was done about 46 minutes in, because I think Eddie strats would be the first 3 finishers, I'd imagine.
Yeah, like I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely Jetty if you happened to find that pass shop and you found the gauntlet pretty early. Music, I think everyone's going to find just based on where the magnet key is hiding.
Yeah, when Vanilla Twin Heart is the thing. When you get a Twin Heart that early here, like you can meme and look for the do the dark matter hunt instead here. But, given the way we laid out here, it was never going to be a thing, for me at least.
Well, yeah, and I mean, if you hadn't gone back and checked the waterfall, you might have gotten the dark matters eventually. It's not like I've ever forgotten to do the waterfall and it's cost me a seed or something like that, so, you know.
A little. Well, what can you do here? All you can do is, try to remember for next time.
Yeah, yeah. It usually works about a good half dozen seeds after that, and then it's like, it gets back into the thing of, oh, I always have checked already. Not always.
Yeah, like otherwise here the seed was straightforward. Like there wasn't, there wasn't going to be, given how quickly everything else did, there wasn't really going to be any roadblocks here. Just a matter of, depending on what route you take here, how was your Z fight? And at that, I spent the last part of the seed here looking for a stat stick for Cecil because I forgot, because I accidentally sold too many swords. Would have had a defense sword here would have been nice here, but once I got in the deck, it was like, all right, this is gonna be good.
Yeah, I saw you had sold a whole boatload of stuff over there when you got to the pass shop.
Yeah, like I didn't see any exiles or crystal swords for sale given this is that's wild. I certainly had enough, stuff in the inventory. Had I come across one. Yeah, you make do with what you got.
Yeah, Coco would have been no help today. He just had a Apollo harp and a really trash shop. So what did you think of this flag set overall?
It's flag set which definitely lends to a speedier time here. I would have loved to the Dark Man have to have played a bigger role in this series because loot goblining can be fun. I don't often get an opportunity here to get in touch with one's inner loot goblins. So, fun scene. But I'm one here. If you're going to go with a dark matter hunt, you need to go all in.
Well, maybe on the next race, the harp and the pass will be placed such that the hunt comes more into play.
Hope so.
Dathis, you have any other questions?
Nope, just GG's Rump on a non-Eddie run and running around and grabbing a little bit of a different role to the seed, which I was very happy with.
Well, I had a good time with that here. Again, here. None of this can be possible here without the team here. Dathis, Darren on Aaron Lord tracking, and Dave I'll talk to you about the seed offline.
You're not the only one.
Have a good night.
All right, good night, GG.
And again, Harump, our 4th place finisher overall, 3rd place finisher on stream, 1:13:45. GG's to him. And while we're doing that, we are really deep into a fight with Scarcerer here. It does have a couple of people taking a quick nap, but we are getting this is a good time to get some recovery going. We're just going to have the casters do nukes and just keep going on the reflect, it looks like.
Yep, with Rydia helping with the Ashura summon for the healing, which will work when he doesn't need it to, and will not work when he does. So, 2 out of 3 is a lie.
I've made the comment before, and I'll say it again. Once you've watched 6 gray faces in a row, you look at Rydia and go, maybe I'm not going to use you as a healer this time. Hasn't happened to me, but I've seen it when I was doing a restream, and I just said, I don't know. I lost all faith.
I mean, it can happen. I mean, it's like 3, 9, I mean, it's a 1 in 900 shot. It's like it happens.
Oh yeah, it does very much so.
You should buy a lottery ticket when that happens.
No, you already just used up all your luck in the wrong way. But speaking of luck and having it happen, if you ever feel like you want to join us here, feel free to join the Discord. We have all sorts of races going on like this, not just our community races, but different pickup races of different flag sets, as well as so many different clubs. I couldn't even spend, I took an hour and a half and we were able to get through them all. But in less time than it takes to explain every single club we have, Scarsoror finishes off Gwainmas, one last reflected nuke to skip half the HP, which we will explain, but we don't have time. The season is too fast. 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 20-ish seconds. GG's to him, and we'll see if we can get him in for an interview. Official time of 1:21:57, actually. GG's. But yeah, as I said, and as we're waiting to see if he's going to join us, there are so many clubs. We have some that have, for our newer player friendly, if you see something like this and say, oh yeah, this would be fun, we do have the Pink Buff Leaf, which we'll touch on a little bit, but for right now, Scarsor, GG's, my friend.
GG.
So, about that seed and them reflect strats and that quick go mode.
I was honestly expecting that. It was very interesting.
Yeah, and you kind of ripped through the seed very effectively. And one, thank you for showing the Supersmith being an Apollo harp, which hilariously enough meant that if you'd really wanted to, you could have taken both those eddies, ground them up to more than enough HP, and you could have had 2 DPS eddies with different weapons.
If I'd gotten the spoon early enough, I would have.
I would have been very entertained. But we see you going with a more traditional reflex strats with Kidia and Double Kid. Was there ever any thought of maybe going and getting a Porum or something else and just like no edge for that D machine grind?
I thought it would be quicker to just go for it. Because
You know what?
Porum could have been just in the giant.
True. No harm, no reason to not take it at that point. So let's go with the beginning of the seed. You have yourself a Darkness Crystal and Team 90 HP and a Dream. How are you feeling about the start for going into that?
I was glad free characters were on. I had some words for Dave.
You know, you and everybody except Judge Joe. Joe is the only person who had no problem with the start, apparently. So we have a fairly loaded set of items. I know you had a Dragon Whip on that Rydia to help you get you through the alt gauntlet. That early gauntlet, how's it feeling for that? To see that just like really out in the open, and then a pass coming down in Agard.
Well, for the gauntlet, I knew it was a good opportunity to let Rydia hit things. I did not notice the stack of Thor Rages in my inventory until halfway through that.
You know what? Good to save them for a little bit later, because Thunder doesn't really do a lot of damage to those undead, so it was better to let the whip fly at that point. Yeah. So, at what point did you think you were going to be committing to a D machine grind?
When I saw that Darkness Crystal.
So right away, you see Team 90 HP and Darkness Crystal, like, all right, we're D machining.
Yeah, tell us somewhere. Get Tella, go through ordeals, D machine, and there's my anchor.
Yeah, fair. How? It seemed like you actually had that very well on lock going. How familiar are you with D machine grinding? Have you done it a fair bit? Have you only done it like a few times?
I've done it a few times. I've seen some other people do it. I remember watching a raid. I remember learning about that you can double life glitch watching a teammate's match, and they did a D machine and double life glitch, and I was like, what?
Oh, I could tell you about the the quarter life glitch if you would like to learn someday. No, it's very hard to pull up. Yeah, double life glitch is always chef's kiss. 3 is really, really interesting. If I've seen one time a 4 life glitch off of 1D machine, and it was pretty chef's kiss. It's very hard to pull off, but it happened.
Yeah, I think I've managed to get a triple on like Mad Ogres during a practice seed. This is very fun. This is a lot faster than I thought it was going to be. You see dark matter, and it's like, this is going to be 2.5 hours. But then the pass is in a shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, if the gauntlet and the harp are both kind of early, then yeah, this one can be pretty jetty.
Well, hopefully the pass is a little deeper in the seed next time. GG's. Thank you all for putting on a wonderful show. I'll have to go back and watch this and see. Did anybody else D machine?
Nope, you were the only one. Although Harumph did go to the moon and took on some other siren bosses or mobs.
All right, I'll have to go back and see how everyone did it. With that said, y'all have a wonderful night, and
All right,
may the
GG
odds
and good night.
be ever in your favor.
GG's and good night, Scarthur, and very, very well done.
Thank you.
Scarthur again, our 4th place finisher overall, 7th place finisher, 4th place finisher on Restream, 7th place overall. Again, well done to him, showing off that you don't have to do Eddie Strats. Sometimes the more traditional grind and go is the way to go. But for us, that is it. We are going to be going as well. Garen, where are we off to, and what's coming up this week?
Well, later on this week, we do have the Pink Puff restreamed race on Thursday nights at 8. So if you're just getting into Free Enterprise, want to give a try with a beginner-friendly flag set, Pink Puff League is a good club to join and a good restream to either join or watch. I believe we are learning about the dupe glitch this week. If I remember what the flags are supposed to be like. So that's always a good glitch to learn if you aren't familiar with it. And I think, let's see, we are supposed to be going to Soapbox Gamer, and he is running a Pink Buff League async. Speaking of the Pink Buff League.
Yep, you did mention that, so it's a good little segue for us to go and send all of our love and all of the follows we have to Soapbox Gamer, a great noodle of the community. But for those of us who were also here tonight, first of all, thank you very much for showing up, watching, and enjoying a more beginner-friendly flag set. As well as I want to say big shout-outs last time to those who let us restream them. Scarsword, Judge Joe, Cubs Rule, Harumph, thank you very much. You guys put on a wonderful show. As well as those behind the scenes who let us put on this great show. We did have the enigmatic NG Dave doing our restreaming and Arlenor doing tracking. Wonderfully well done, keeping us honest, and unfortunately no dark matter tracking, but didn't really need it today, it looked like. And very big shout outs to you, Garen, for being my wonderful co-commentator. We're going to send you over to Soapbox Gamer now. Y'all have yourselves a wonderful night, and we shall see you for the Friday night restream. And rage be away.